What's up, everyone? Aaron Nagler here, PackersNews.com, live on Facebook late in the day on Tuesday afternoon. The Packers are 24 hours away from presenting their findings to this group of shareholders, which will be packed in Lambeau Field in prime time for the first time ever. I will be en route to Green Bay starting early tomorrow morning, so my backdrop will be quite different starting tomorrow. And of course, the big news, the huge news, the Packers have signed somebody named Adonis, which I think is just a great name. David Cantor, agent extraordinaire, has tweeted out that the Packers have signed Adonis Jennings out of Temple. He's a wide receiver. Clearly he'll have some catching up to do on the playbook. But the biggest news of the day, obviously, is the return of the Packers roster builder. That's right. Go to PackersNews.com and you too can build your own 53-man roster here on the eve of training camp. Good luck. We're all counting on you. In addition, if you need some guidance in that task, you can check out Ryan Wood's 53-man roster projection, pre-camp version, 1.0 if you will. Ryan does a great job every year. It's a crazy idea. It's absolutely impossible to get to the 53-man roster in late July, but Ryan does it, and he does a great job with it, so make sure you check that out. Tons of people checking in the comments. So nice to see you all. James from Seattle, hello. Otis, hi. Peter, thank you for dropping by. So yeah, that's all the news that's fit to print here on this late Tuesday edition of Facebook Live. There you go. In the comment section, you'll see pinned there the link to the roster builder. Have at it. You got, you know, injury concerns, suspensions, monetary cap situations. You get to try and figure it all out. So good luck. When does Jones come back? Aaron Jones will be available in week 3. He will be able to participate in the entirety of training camp and the preseason. But then when the games start to count for real, he has to sit out the first 2. I don't know the answer to the Game of Thrones questions. How is Cobb doing with his injury? Seems to be doing just fine. He was seen at his camp, his youth camp, 3rd annual. I believe it was last week. He seemed to be running around. I spoke with reporters very briefly. He did say he was feeling good. He had, at that point, not checked in with the medical staff with the Packers. I would suspect, we'll find out tomorrow most likely, or maybe overnight tonight, I suspect they'll probably take it easy with Randall early on, but he should be good to go in a few days' time, if not before, and there's zero question that he should be ready for week 1. Is King healthy? It's a great question. We will find out. I know he sat out most of the team's stuff, did some individuals work in the spring, but you know, still on the mend from that shoulder. They will undoubtedly be cautious with it. That's one of the things we'll be asking about tomorrow when we meet with Mike McCarthy. We meaning the media, because I will be in the air. But Mike McCarthy will speak with the local media tomorrow morning to kick off training camp. And some, not all, but I'm sure some of our health-related questions will be answered at that time. Jimmy Graham, what's your thoughts? I think he'll be highly effective as a pass catcher and as a big body over the middle, someone who can dictate to defenses how they have to play the Packers offense. I don't think you're going to see him in line a whole heck of a lot, but that's why Mercedes Lewis is there. How many roster bubble spots are there? Quite a few, I would think. It's really hard to determine between, you know, any kind of injuries, Brian Bulaga's situation, the Jones suspension, which means he won't be counting on the 53 for the first 2 weeks, so there's a lot to play with there. Are the Packers selling 100 Seasons merch? You bet they are. How's Clay? TMZ had a shot of him on a commercial set looking good. So, I mean, we'll find out for sure tomorrow, but unless someone caught a picture of him today moving into the dorms. Let's see, what else we got? Sorry, I'm getting so many alerts on my phone. I say Graham breaks 11 TDs. I'd be shocked. I don't think it'll be because he's not capable of it. I think he and Aaron Rodgers will have a good connection, but on an offense that spreads the ball around a lot, especially with all the different weapons they have down there in the red zone, 11 touchdowns seems like a lot. Any undrafted rookies make the roster? We'll start to get the answer to that question probably Thursday as they take the field. This is the beginning of a journey. Impossible to say sitting here right now before seeing any of them put the pads on and mix it up with the veterans. But you know, the Packers are one of the best teams if you're an agent with some low-level guys and you want to direct them to a camp where they're going to get a fair shake and they're going to get opportunities. Green Bay, Seattle, and there's a few others that have garnered a reputation of really fostering competition to the point where if you're the best man, you're the best man, and you're going to have an opportunity to make the squad. And that's not the case in a lot of NFL cities, but in Green Bay it certainly is. So it's a big storyline every year. I'm sure we'll be watching it throughout the course of the next month. Is Nick Perry injured yet? There we go, starting off with some positivity. Who do you think will be the backup center? I'm very curious to see Dylan Day, the guy they picked up off the Broncos practice squad at the end of last year. He didn't play last season. But they've kept him around all spring. They're clearly going to let him come into camp and compete. He could very well end up being their backup center. I think he has to show that he can play more than one position. Otherwise, it's really hard to justify that roster spot. But, you know, in a pinch, I think Justin McCray or Lucas Patrick would be your backup center. But I think they would prefer to have someone, a dedicated center, be able to step in there. What is Adonis Jennings all about? I don't know. I will talk to David, his agent, later this evening and find out. When will Raji report to camp? That is an excellent question. If Mays lights it up, do we carry an extra running back? It's a possibility. He showed last year he can contribute on teams. If he improves in that area and, like, say, balls out from scrimmage, then I think there's a definite possibility. You got to make yourself indispensable on special teams. And if he can do that, then he's got a chance. Favorite bourbon? That would be the one that's in front of me at the moment, at any given moment. Biggest impact rookie wide receiver, the one who gets the most opportunities due to his demon-like work on special teams. Does Brett Good make the team? Excellent question. He's not currently on the roster, but we'll see if the young buck that they drafted possibly struggles early on in camp. It's hard to imagine that they're not going to give Brett a call. I keep cutting out. I'm sorry about that. I'm going to wrap it up pretty soon here anyway. Is our defense going to show out? TBD. Let's see what these young defensive backs are about. I think they've got the talent up front, the front seven. It's all about the back end. If they can shore up the secondary, get off the field on a few more third downs, they should be cooking with gas. All right, everybody. I'm sorry if I'm cutting out. I'm sorry if I didn't get to your question. I got to jump. I'm really sorry that it's so short, but they will be much longer starting tomorrow. I'll be in Green Bay. I'll be at the shareholders meeting. And then starting Thursday night, every night of training camp, basically, that I'm there for 3 weeks, I'm going to have something special for you. So I'm going to announce that probably tomorrow. So make sure or maybe later tonight. So make sure you're checking PackersNews.com for that. Or follow me on Twitter, on Facebook, etc. Something pretty special that I'm really excited about to share with you all. That's coming around the corner. And in the meantime, make sure you're checking PackersNews.com for all the latest. Like I said, right there in the top of the comments pinned, it's the roster builder. Make sure you check it out. Thanks a lot, everyone. Have a good night.